Welcome everyone. Today we'll explore a fascinating part of our language, syllables. Like the heartbeat in our chest, syllables are the pulse of our words. Understanding them will help us speak, listen, and write better in English. Syllables play a crucial role in how we pronounce words and in the rhythm of our speech. They help us break down words into manageable parts, making it easier to spell, read, and learn new vocabulary. Let's dive into how this works. Phonetic grounds. This refers to the physical aspects of sound production. On phonetic grounds, a syllable is characterized by the level of air obstruction during its articulation. For instance, vowels tend to have an open vocal tract, so there's less obstruction to airflow, and they form the peak of loudness in the syllable. Consonants, on the other hand, create a greater degree of obstruction, shaping the onset and coda of the syllable. Syllables are the building blocks of spoken words. Each syllable has a nucleus, which is the central vowel sound, and optionally, an onset and coda. Onset, the sounds that come before the nucleus. We can see that the onset can have 0 to 3 consonants. Nucleus. We can also see that the nucleus is always a vowel sound. Coda. The sounds that come after the nucleus. We can see that the coda can have 0 to 4 consonants. Here are some additional points to note. Almost any vowel can fit in the nucleus. Any consonant can fit in the onset except for ing. There are some limitations on consonant clusters in the coda. The ability to identify syllables is an important phonological skill. It can help with tasks such as breaking down words into their component sounds, learning new vocabulary, and understanding the rhythm of spoken language. Initial two-consonant cluster are of two sorts. One sort starts with S followed by a small set of consonants. Examples include the words speak, star, skim, sphere, smoke, snore, slow, and swing. The S is called pre-initial consonant, and the following consonant is an initial consonant. The other sort starts with one of these 15 consonants, followed by one of these 4 consonants in red. Examples include play, pray, try, bring, dwell, thwart, huge, and muse. There are some restrictions on which consonants can occur together. When we look at 3 consonant clusters, we can recognize a clear relationship between them and the 2 sorts of 2-consonant cluster described earlier. Examples of 3 consonant initial clusters are split, stream, and square. The S in these examples is the pre-initial consonant, the P-T. K that follows S in the 3 example words are the initial consonant, and the L, R, W are post-initial. There are very few possible combinations of 3 consonants at the beginning of English words, and we can list them all. Final consonant clusters. If there are no consonant at the end of the syllable, we can say it is a 0 coda. And when there is one consonant at the end of the syllable, we refer to this a final consonant. There are some restrictions on these final consonants, though. These sounds cannot be syllable final. The sound R doesn't usually occur syllable final in British English. It is only pronounced when followed by a vowel. However, in American English and other rhotic accents, the sound R is always pronounced. In English, words can end in 2 consonants in 2 different ways. One way is for a stop consonant pa, ba, ta, da, ka, and ge to be preceded by a limited set of consonants that include M, N, L, S, and R. These sounds are called pre-final consonants. Examples include bump, bent, bank, belt, and ask. Post-final consonants come in a limited set. These sounds can be tacked onto the end of words to create new forms, Examples include bets, beds, backed, and bagged. Interestingly, these post-final consonants can sometimes function as separate morphemes, which are the building blocks of meaning in language. For instance, the S in cats or beds adds the meaning of plurality. However, it's not always the case. In acts, the final S is part of a single morpheme and doesn't have a separate meaning on its own. Something interesting to note about pronouncing these consonant clusters. In words like backed and bagged, the first consonant sound, the ka and ga respectively, often isn't pronounced as strongly as the second. This means the little puff of air you typically hear with these consonants, called plosion, is almost inaudible. Final three consonant clusters can be categorized into two distinct types. The first type consists of a combination of three elements: a pre-final consonant, a final consonant, and a post-final consonant. The arrangement of these consonants is presented in the table below. The second type of final three-consonant cluster demonstrates the possibility of multiple post-final consonants occurring in a single final cluster. This type of cluster is composed of three elements: a final consonant, followed by a first post-final consonant, post-final 1, and then a second post-final consonant, post-final 2. The second post-final consonant, post-final 2, is consistently selected from a limited set of consonants, which includes these sounds. The majority of four consonant clusters can be analyzed by breaking them down into four distinct components. These components include a final consonant, which is preceded by a pre-final consonant and followed by two post-final consonants, post-final 1 and post-final 2. The structure of these four consonant clusters is illustrated in the table below. In a few exceptional cases, a different analysis is necessary to understand the structure of certain four consonant clusters. These clusters appear to consist of a final consonant without a pre-final consonant, followed by three consecutive post-final consonants. The structure of these unusual four consonant clusters can be represented as final consonant, plus post-final 1 plus post-final 2 plus post-final 3. In summary, the maximum phonological structure of the English syllable can be described as follows: pre-initial plus post-initial representing the onset, a vowel in between representing the nucleus, followed by pre-final plus post-final 1 plus post-final 2 plus post-final 3 representing the coda. In modern phonology, the syllable is analyzed as having a more refined structure: the onset, the rhyme, which includes the peak and the coda. The rhyme consists of an obligatory peak, usually a vowel, and an optional coda, consonants following the vowel. The onset, consonants before the vowel, is also optional. This structure is derived from the observation of rhyming patterns in English verse, where the rhyme portion of the final syllable is matched. The refined analysis allows for a clearer understanding of the syllable's internal organization and is widely used in phonological research. Syllable division in English is not always straightforward, especially when consonants from the end of one word combine with consonants at the beginning of the next word. This can create sequences of consonants that wouldn't normally occur within a single syllable. The example given is walked through, where the consonants ka, ta, tha, and ra come together. While English speakers perceive this as two syllables, most would reject considering the S in a word like extra as its own syllable. The main issue is deciding where exactly to place the syllable boundary when such consonant sequences occur. Here we can see 5 possibilities for extra, using a dot to mark the boundary. The choice of where to place the syllable boundary in these cases is controversial, and there is no single rule that can consistently determine the division without running into problems. The key takeaway is that while syllables are intuitive units of pronunciation for English speakers, clearly defining and dividing them, especially in connected speech, is much more complex and debatable than it might seem at first. Now it's time to practice. Using the analysis of the word cramped, given below as a model, analyze the structure of the following one-syllable English words. Congratulations on completing this comprehensive unit on syllables. You've made great progress in understanding the building blocks of words. To continue your linguistic journey, don't miss our upcoming unit, Stress in Simple Words, where you'll dive into the fascinating world of word stress and how it impacts meaning and pronunciation. Stay tuned and get ready to take your language skills to the next level.